The blower fan on my wood stove costs me 10 cents a day to run. How do I know that? Because I'm using an electricity monitor to tell me how many watts it's pulling. The calculation is relatively straightforward. Since I'm pulling almost a constant 18 watts, I simply need to multiply this by a conversion factor to get it into kilowatts. Then, because I want to know how much I'm paying per day, I'm going to multiply this by 24 hours in one day. Then what I'm going to do is multiply this times the cost of my service. I'm paying about 26 cents per kilowatt hour, and you can find this out by looking at your bill. Once you do the math, you'll see that this equals about 11 cents per day. If you'd like to see how much your appliances are using in terms of electricity, I'll put a link in the description to the low-cost electricity monitor that I picked up. An electricity monitor has a timer built into it, and it will also tell you how many volts you're pulling, as well as what the hertz is of your power supply. Although what I am most interested in is how many watts are being used. Being able to measure how many watts an appliance is using gives me the ability to calculate how much I'm paying for that appliance to be used in my house. Let's take a look at a common space heater. A lot of people don't realize how much electricity these little space heaters can use. This particular space heater can use 1,500 watts, and if it was running constantly, the calculation would be pretty straightforward. We would take those 1,500 watts. First thing we would do is convert that to kilowatts. Then we would multiply it by 24 hours, again in one day. And then I would multiply it by the cost of my service, again, which is 26 cents per kilowatt. So if this little space heater was running constantly, I would actually be paying $9.36 per day. At $10 a day, you're almost looking at $300 per month if you forget about this little heater and let it run all the time. The good news is these heaters typically don't run all the time, and they're cycling off and on in order to maintain temperature. That's where this electricity monitor comes in handy. Over a course of 24 hours, it will record how many watts were actually used, and you can use this to calculate how much you're actually spending. So I set up this space heater in a colder area of our house and let it run for 24 hours in order to keep that part of the house at about 68 degrees. So after 24 hours, or one day, my electricity monitor recorded 11.5 kilowatt hours. Now, since this is already in kilowatt hours, in order for me to calculate my cost, I just need to multiply this by my cost of service, which again is 26 cents per kilowatt hour. Once I run the numbers, I get $2.99 per day to run this little space heater. So as you can see, each device you plug in can really use a lot of electricity, and if you've got an electricity bill that is kind of out of control, it might make sense for you to take a look around your house, get an electricity monitor, and see where you can save some money. Thanks for watching. Check out the description for more information and hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more videos.